We have a lot to get into from the 2025 Emmys. A lot of looks from the red carpet that I want to go over first before we cringe at all of the political virtue signaling and slacktivism at the event. First off, Sydney Sweeney, stunning in all red on the Emmys red carpet. Looking characteristically Sydney Sweeney. And, of course, the first response I saw to this says, likely color for her to wear.
Fascist. She's dressed like that's fascist cleavage.
They think that her wearing the color red
is her signaling her Republicanness?
Yes, is a reference to the fact that she is a registered Republican.
Look, I saw her interacting with Coleman Domingo, Euphoria days. Look, can't we? Because Coleman Domingo is just in that video.
The drag queen?
Yeah, Coleman Domingo. Well, Coleman Domingo isn't a drag queen, right? Just an actor. Oh, well, Coleman Domingo was also in the Sabrina Carpenter video, right?
In drag.
In drag. Can't we all just get along? That's a good thing.
That's actually proving that Sydney Sweeney is the archetypal socially liberal, fiscally conservative Republican.
She's like, look, I just want to keep my money. Can I just keep my money?
And here's another look from Jenna Ortega wearing a bodice entirely of stringed jewels by Givenchy on the red carpet. Netflix said no one slays like Jenna Ortega, and she's still sporting those bleached eyebrows that everyone hates.
Yeah.
And I think she's just going to double down on it until we like it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just not.
I feel like she was actually trying to put on like several different necklaces all at once and just decided to leave it on as a shirt.
That was also in line with the naked dressing trend that we talked about last
I sent
week.
you that. I was like, of course it's a trend called naked dressing.
Displayed by Margot Robbie and Dakota Johnson and Bella Hadid and countless others.
What was your take on the Margot Robbie one? I didn't listen to it. What was it?
It's no different than any of the others. I think it's just trashy and a desperate bid for attention that doesn't even work because we're obviously bombarded with nudity at all times. So why would we be surprised? And here's another clip of Selena Gomez on the Emmys red carpet with her fiance Benny Blanco. And the caption says, he's so effing useless. The way he can't even grab her by the waist and she's the one who has to grab him. The way this is being dissected, their relationship specifically, really disturbs me.
It's kind of weird how, like, for any of the female pop stars, any relationship is just going to lead to a bunch of people being mad. Not because they want to be with you, but because they want to hate the guy.
Well, I mean, Benny Blanco, to be fair, is very hateable. He has a very hateable face, very hateable personality.
If he did grab her waist, they'd find something else to complain about.
Of course, of course. There are a lot of people who think that Selena is really only with him because he worships the ground that she walks on, which I find easy to believe, actually. There were, of course, some drag queens invited to the event, and I don't think this really counts as drag, per se. One of them was Corey King, dressed up as Michael Jackson. There was another drag queen dressed up in this elaborate Labubu cosplay.
Yeah, I saw the Labubu
that's
one.
kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. Is that like offensive to Chinese people?
The amount of Labubus
little
that we
takeout
saw,
box purse?
The amount of Labubu stuff that we saw while we were on our honeymoon was just out of pocket.
What?
Like at malls and stuff like that.
It's out of control. It's got to stop.
Out of control.
They're so ugly. Then we have Miss Piggy. I mean, I just don't understand why they still invite drag queens to these events. Because drag isn't cool anymore. It's definitively corporatized. And they're not famous. So why are these people even around?
Yeah.
Clearly, I think that all these award shows, but the Emmys especially, is just feigning irrelevancy. Another fashion moment that people took note was Meg Stalter on the red carpet with her Chanel purse that says ceasefire.
Can you tell me who she is?
Yeah, I think talked about her not too long ago because she's not a singer. She's an actress that's starring in Lena Dunham's new show.
That tracks.
Yeah, she's basically Lena Dunham's Gen Z self-insert actress.
The heir apparent.
Right, exactly. But she's not as ugly. Kyle Dixon sent us a 20. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Dasovic.
Thank you so much. And thank you from Olivia as well.
But here is a response to this ceasefire purse and the way she's posing with it, thinking that she ate. I really dislike when people do this.
She definitely
ate. I really dislike when people do this free Palestine but make it cunty bit. Are you dumb? People are dying, but thank God you're pouting your lips and slaying with that keffiyeh.
That's what I said about the we'll get into it. Like, we'll talk about it. I've got more of it.
It's a good point because you're only carrying that around for attention because nobody knows who you are. You're a total nobody that somehow secured an invitation to this because you're in a Lena Dunham show. And the attention you're getting is entirely because of some stupid political statement that you put on your clothes. And she didn't even bother to wear a real outfit. She's wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
Look, we need to bring back hipster activism. Like, they need to start being, like I said, say what you want about Macklemore, but he finds like the conflicts that you're not talking about.
Well,
it's not just he does talk about Palestine.
Say what you will about Lady Gaga's meat dress.
Yes. I love it when they talk about animals and when they talk about not the climate, but like the rainforest.
Yes.
Like, I love that. Like, it harkens back to a time where at the very least the activism probably mattered more to them. It probably actually mattered because there wasn't actually a lot of social capital in it.
Right. They're like, stop killing the rabbits.
Like, when I see like old things of celebrities who like really care about a cause, and it's like the ozone layer.
The anti-fur campaigns from PETA in the 2000s were peak hipster activism.
Yeah.
And we got to bring that back because the rest of it is just mind-numbing, repetitive garbage. And it doesn't even take the issue that they are speaking to seriously for what it is. This speech from Hannah Einbinder in her acceptance speech at the Emmys is just like so exemplary of what slacktivism in Hollywood looks like.
Oh, and if you're wondering what those numbers are in the corner, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. That's the charity counter. We're going to talk about the charity counter tomorrow, guys. Don't you worry. But let's listen to what Hannah says.
Right.
Finally, I'll pay the difference. Sorry. Finally, I just want to say, finally, go Birds, and free Palestine.
They cut the feed there because she said, go Birds, F ICE, and free Palestine. So you're shouting out your sports team and then saying F ICE and free Palestine. You clearly don't even take your activism issue seriously. If you think that it belongs in the same sentence as your favorite sports team. That's what they view politics as. They view starving children in Gaza as a team sport.
Yep.
That's disgusting. Like, I'm not even saying that as like some sort of bleeding heart lib or an activist myself. I'm just saying, if you're going to advocate for those people, at least offer them the respect to not treat them like a sports team mascot.
What did I say
That's so gross.
What did I say last night?
So sleazy and crass.
I said, lol to squeezing in your favorite sports team right next to the foreign wars and immigration virtue signaling. Yeah. Like, we are an unserious country, and Hollywood is filled with unserious people, ladies and gentlemen. Unserious!
So then she was asked about the meaning of that statement in a later interview on the red carpet. Here was her explanation.
When you were up on stage, you talked about Palestine, and I know you signed a pledge too. Can you talk about that, please?
Yeah. So, well, I thought it was important to talk about Palestine because it's an issue that's very dear to my heart. I have friends in Gaza who are working as frontline workers, as doctors right now in the north of Gaza, to provide care for pregnant women and for school children, to create schools in the refugee camps. And it's an issue that's really close to my heart.
She's like drunk.
For many reasons. I feel like it is my obligation as a Jewish person to distinguish Jews from the state of Israel because our religion and our culture is such an important and long-standing basically like
is she drunk? I feel like she's drunk.
That is really separate to this sort of ethno-nationalist state. And in terms of the the pledge. It's like many movements, boycotting is an effective tool to create pressure on the powers that be to meet the moment, you know.
Meet the moment.
The Film Workers for Palestine boycott does not boycott individuals. It only boycotts institutions that are directly complicit in the genocide. So, yeah, it's important to me, and I think it's an important measure, and so I was happy to be a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's referencing a pledge or open letter that was signed by a lot of actors and actresses. It was reported on last week.
Before we do that, I did see that Homeland Security fired back. It says,
can we not do this?
Trisha McLaughlin tells TMZ how ugly such a demonization is inspiring violence are ICE law enforcement who are facing 1,000% increase in assaults against it. So they're like the federal government's always now very happy to get involved in these stories.
Can the DHS not be Wendy's on Twitter for 2 seconds? Just do your thing, and no one knows who this chick is. Just stop. Yep. Just I can't with the clapback culture that is even being displayed by our own government. Javier Bardem also threw his hat in the ring with a keffiyeh on the red carpet. Yeah. And he's throwing up the most half-hearted resist fist.
I said that to you before the show. I said it's so dilapidated.
It's you're not even trying.
It's not even up very high.
He's like, yep, I'm doing the thing that you want me to do. And then in this later interview with our favorite journalist from Variety.
Everybody loves this guy, including us.
Here he said why he was wearing the keffiyeh.
They denouncing the genocide in Gaza. I'm talking about the IAGS, which is the International Association of Genocide Scholars, who study thoroughly genocide and has declared it is a genocide. And that's why we ask for a commercial and diplomatic blockade and also sanctions on Israel to stop the genocide, free Palestine. Here I am today.
And it's irrelevant what he could be making a speech about or making a statement about. People are just fatigued with the political speeches at award shows in general, to say nothing of the issue at hand. And they didn't take Ricky Gervais's advice in 2020. No. It's been 5 years since that happened. Too long. And they forgot. He said at the Golden Globes in his monologue, don't make this a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. If you win, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and F off.
He's actually wrong about that. A lot of these actors go to elite schools. That was one of those things I always found hilarious, because when I was young, I just assumed that all actors were idiots who...
It depends. A lot of them are just given honorary degrees.
No, a lot of them go to, at the very least, they get a 4-year degree and then go to the Royal Academy for Drama, or they go to any of these big drama schools, but they go to, to the big colleges. I'm not saying they're going to MIT or to Caltech. They're not studying the sciences, but they went to college. Most of them
I'm pretty
did.
sure Natalie Portman, for instance, was given an honorary doctorate from Harvard or something and did a commencement speech for them.
Hilarious.
Taylor Swift was also given an honorary doctorate, I believe, or maybe it was an honorary bachelor's from NYU. So
I just I find it interesting because they're always they're very focused, and there is a point of contention here, which is with everything that's going on here, they're focused on something that has nothing to do with the U.S. And one of the things that I think is true is for as long as humanity has existed, war has been going on somewhere, right? And now because of the internet, you're expected to care about something that's going on halfway around the world.
Well, I wouldn't say it has nothing to do with the U.S. Of course, it's related to.
I'm saying, but they're not talking about that. They weren't even. They're not to what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're not bringing up. They weren't saying the U.S. should sever their relationship with Israel. There
was no solution offered. It's just we feel bad about the bad things that are happening because we're good.
Yeah. Somebody said to me the other day,
and that means I'm against things that are bad.
When I was, I can tell this story. When we were in when we were on our honeymoon, we were in a Tim Hortons. I don't know if Olivia tweeted about this, but we were in a Tim Hortons, and this was on 9/11, and a gentleman came into the Tim Hortons and said, I kid you not, he said, "Happy 9/11." And he said it loud, and he kept repeating the phrase, and then he set a backpack down. And Olivia's like, yeah, no.
Well, he left.
The guy left and then came back in. And he was like passing out flyers, and he was saying, he said, "Happy 9/11." And he goes, "Yet people in Gaza die every day." And I was just thinking, I'm just like, look, the people here, they're like normal people on vacation, and they don't live there. But they did live in the U.S. I guess not really, because we were on the Canada side, but they lived close to the U.S. And that's, because where we were is close to New York. It's not like when something happens halfway around the world that has no connection to you, the internet now believes that you should care as much about that as you should about the things that are happening in your own backyard. But that's not how the real world actually works. There's an order of importance in how things happen to you. Your family and friends, and then your community, then your state, then your country, then the rest of the world. Now, geopolitics means that it's all interconnected to some extent, but people aren't going to care as deeply about something that didn't happen to them or correlate to them directly at some level of magnitude.
Well, I think it
doesn't make them bad people.
Clear based on the way they're presenting the issue that their hearts are not even in it. Yeah. Like, it would be one thing if any of us genuinely believed that they cared about this issue, but instead what they're doing is like, I'm pouting my lips and posing with my little ceasefire purse, or I'm shouting out my sports team and Gaza in the same breath. You're not exactly convincing the public that any of this matters to you. You're very blatantly using it to brand yourself as a quote-unquote good person trademark. And of course, it's the mostly nobody actors hitting this issue the hardest for a reason.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.